guys play it after a loss is every bit as important and needs to be studied as how a guy plays it after a win. Now, I maintain you must be a boss even after a loss. After a loss, you're still calling the shots. You're in the media. You're putting your finger in somebody else's chest. You return to the main event even if you just got beat. Now, that just isn't what most guys think. They just don't. They'll even say it. I lost my last fight. I have no right to call anybody out and all. Wait and see with the UFC, and I promise to learn from this, and I'm going to come back better than ever, and my fans, you just mean everything to me, and thanks for the support. It's one of these things, and it's weak, but it's also not interesting. It's just not the way to do it. You will move yourself up a card, but you will move yourself down the card. You will come out in an interview with a statement and remove yourself from a card. I got pulled off the main card. Debuted on the main card. Cut from the UFC, returned to the main card. And I'm getting ready to fight the number 2 guy in the world. I'm ranked number 9. It's number 9 versus number 2. It is one of the only top 10 fights on the entire card, and we get pulled to the undercard. So, my previous fight, which I had won, which was a main card, I apologized to Joe Silva after the fight. I couldn't get anything going, and it was one of these things, and I knew it was stale, and the referee had warned me a couple of times, and it was just one of these things. And I said, man, I'm sorry. I couldn't get going tonight. So at any rate, my next fight, I'm fighting number 2 in the world, Yushin Okami, ranked number 9, and we're making the walk at like 5 p.m. The pay-per-view window doesn't even open for another 2 hours. And something was said to Joe Silva, right? Very simple, but some comment was made about, hey, I won my last, what happened here? And Joe said, hey, you told me yourself. You apologized to me. You told me yourself that there wasn't an exciting fight. I didn't make this decision. I got it from you, right? It's a real quick conversation. I'm adding to it a little bit, but Joe had said this. Hey, wait a minute, you told me yourself that your last fight wasn't. So, wow, I moved myself down the card. Moved myself up in competition. Moved myself up the ladder. And the only thing that matters, which is not your ranking, not your placement, not your record, not how much money, the only number that matters is your placement on the card. If you could be ranked number 10 and be in the main event, or you could be the world champion in your 3 fights before, take the number 10 ranking and be the main event. All right. So I'm just sharing this, right? I'm a younger guy, and this is one of the things that helped me to learn. So I don't think that I ever saw anybody do this better than Rampage Jackson. And it was specifically after he had lost to Jon Jones. It was a very dominant match. I want to say maybe they fought into the 4th round. Jon had won all the rounds. Won all the aspects, the kicking and the punching and the grappling, and finished him. And Rampage, when he gets on the microphone afterwards, he touched on the fight for about 2 seconds. I think Rampage's exact words, it was a long time ago, but I believe if you go back and look this up, he says, yeah, man, he's real deal. He's better than I thought he was. Hey, Shogun, we got unfinished business. I want you on the card in Tokyo. I mean, who, what, when, why, and where. Let everybody know it was Shogun. Let everybody know it was Tokyo. Let everybody know that it was a rematch. Let them know that they had unfinished. I mean, he handled everything, and when he walked out that night, we all knew Rampage will return as a top draw. I watched it. Nick Diaz lose on all 3 judges' scorecards, all 5 rounds to Anderson Silva, grab the microphone and say, I thought I won all 5 rounds, and he got a standing ovation, and they booed Anderson. And it was just this amazing thing. It was this amazing thing. It was very similar to like what I said to Joe. You move yourself up the card, you move yourself down the card, and I take the time to share that with you. I don't know if Dricus is strategically remaining quiet. I don't know if that's by strategy, but I'm curious. I'm curious if he sat down and he was studying the board and said, the best thing that I can do is lay out. Because it's what he's done. And Dricus is very popular. He's a handsome guy. He's the world champion. He's got a big storyline. I mean, he has some really big fights. Paulo Costa called Dricus out. I can't think of a poster that would jump more than that. I really cannot think of a non-title fight. Tell me one if you've got one. You tell me of a non-title fight that you would look forward to seeing more than Dricus du Plessis versus Paulo Costa. Go. I'm challenging you. And you might have some answers, but I feel like I've proved my point. But Dricus, quiet. And is he going to make the play? Is he going to make the play that I was the champion? I dropped to number one contender, and I have a right for the very shot against Chimaev that I just gave Chimaev. Is he going to make that play? That's a hard one. Could be a hard sell. But is that what he's going to do? Is he going to just wait till his phone rings? There's no strategy here whatsoever. He's annoyed. He's in a little bit of a post-fight depression. He just doesn't want to talk to the media. Is that all that's going on? Maybe. Is he going to do what I want him to do? Which is leave 185 and his next announcement comes out that he's at 205 pounds. By the way, he could be anywhere. He could step right in against Ankalaev. I don't believe that Pereira is going to compete at 205 pounds aside from his next fight against Ankalaev. But there is different ways to deal with it. Well, Pierre's a great example. Same spot as Dricus. Was the champion. Big draw. Main event. Gets upset. Pierre didn't have a lot to work with. There's just not an outpouring of people demanding to see him versus Ankalaev. But either way, Pierre handled it very similar to the way Dricus handled it. And when his phone rang, it was to return to a main event for a world championship. And by the way, collecting points. Like, it's an interesting thing. And I need a little bit more time. I don't know if Dricus has a clear strategy or this is just how he's handling it. It's not the way Sean O'Malley would have handled it. Sean O'Malley would have been in your face and returning to a main event. But it takes a lot of work, and it takes a strategy, and it takes a skill. And we won't know. We won't know if Dricus is just not returning phone calls. Or if there's a bigger strategy at play. But I will share with you, he matters. He's compelling. The no comment, no excuse, remain mysterious is a very hard one to pull off. But there are guys that can pull it off. And I feel, I got to just tell you, as a fan, Dricus and the mysteriousness of where his head at and what he wants to do next is more compelling to me, I feel, than if Dricus was to come out and actually answer those questions.